why were all of the wives and the concubines allowed or there? Is that okay? So I would say that in God's eyes, he I wouldn't think he approved of that. I would say he looked at that as, I promised to bless Solomon and I promised to give him wisdom because he asked for wisdom, not riches and honor and 100 wives or a harem or whatever he wanted. And God gave him all of that anyway. And with the wisdom, the book of Proverbs says, if we seek wisdom, if we chase after it with everything, buy it, do not sell it, it will give us riches, honor, glory, all of these things that we might need or want here on earth by just getting wisdom. That's it. That's all we have to go for. And even Jesus in the New Testament plays on that too. He says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. All these other things will be given to you as well. What are we seeking? Wisdom. It's wisdom that was here even before the world was created. It was formless and void, but wisdom was hovering around here. And so it's always been here. That's what we need to be going after, is this knowledge of God. And I think that when Solomon was having his, wherever, at whatever point in his life, as he was rising to fame, we'll say, he had a lot of wisdom, but he was also getting all of this other stuff. And if you read in the book of Ecclesiastes, it's about how he is saying, like, I've tried all of this. I have no doubt Solomon probably tried every drug out there, all kinds of drinking. He did all this stuff because he's like, I have the wisdom to know. I want to try it, and then I'll stop, and I want to see if anything here on earth fills whatever the void is that I have. And he concluded, no, there is nothing here. And so what does that mean? It means that the wisdom was the only thing that filled his void. And today we know that as knowing Jesus. That is the only thing that is going to fill our void, is by having Jesus in our life. And then he will provide us with that wisdom. And so in terms of all of Solomon's concubines and his wives, the over 1,000 of them, did God say, yeah, you're a good servant. Here's another wife, here's another wife, here's another concubine, here's this. God allowed him to have everything he ever wanted. It doesn't mean that everything he wanted was according to God's will or according to what God had a standard for in his life. Just like how King David wanted Bathsheba, and he got her, but he did a lot of bad things in order for that to happen, and God said, look, as a consequence, that child's not going to make it. And then even in the Bible, it says, when the child was born, King David is in sackcloth, mourning, rolling around, refusing to eat. The child dies. He's like, all right, no problem. Gets up, changes his clothes, make me something to eat. And they're like, what in the world? And he said, I just hoped maybe God would spare his life. But now that he's dead, I realize God was true.